All right, so at this point, I accepted the program, and I am at orientation. As we know, actually, backtrack. Before orientation, the school gives you a list of a lot of things that you need to do before orientation because the program starts in January. So November comes around. This is November of 21. November comes around and I'm basically working, but then in between work, driving to Miami to do all of these background check, fingerprint, COVID, vaccination, titer, hoopla. Like, it was a lot to get to the point of, okay, you're ready for clinicals. But so did all of that, then went to orientation, got a feel, got all the jitters. Was I was trying to make as much, because I'm not from there. I was trying to make as much connections as possible because I needed to network my behind through to figure out how am I going to study, who I'm going to study with, how I'm going to get to know the area, things that if you were from that area you would know. I didn't know nothing other than I'm just here for nursing school or whatever. So, met a few people or whatever the case may be, kept it going. So I'm asking them like, hey, y'all know anybody renting places, this, that, whatever, and the third. People are giving me places, but the places are not in the most ideal locations. Okay, they were skeptical, and I don't want to say that I'm a bougie girl, but I can't be in the hood either. You get what I'm saying? So, a friend suggested a site for me, and the site was not necessarily for nursing students. I think it was for nurses. I'm not 100% sure, but I did come across this property, which was, I don't want to say it wasn't a property because it did what it needed to do. It was legit, fully furnished, cable, internet, water, lights, whatever. It was a steal for what I had going on, to be completely honest. And it was like within budget. Because again, daycare is a lot of money. Commuting is a lot of money. Everything is a lot of money. And I knew that with the program that I was going to be in, the driving back and forth, it wasn't going to be a thing. The flying back and forth, it was not going to be realistic. So I had to move from Orlando to Miami. So I'm just like, oh, what's a year, huh? What's a year? Yeah, right. So I ended up locking in this location or whatever the case may be. And I'm just like, this is going to be cool because me and the guy, we had a whatever understanding. Like, I barely saw him because I was stuck in school until 1, 2 in the morning or whatever. And, well, not really school, but school then studies, go home, whatever. So it was like night and day. I probably could say that the only time I spent there was when I had to work, so to say, because I was always in a study group trying to figure out what is it that I learned at nursing school. But it worked out until it didn't. I don't know who complained on my homeboy, but the neighbors complained, and apparently where I was staying, he built it illegally. So I had to go. And when I had to go, I was just like, what in the world? Because this place was like set, it was like perfect for what I needed. For real, for real. Like, it was perfect. The location wasn't too far from the school. Everything was perfect. So he's like, oh, well, they caught me and I need to get this clear. So I'm just like, okay, so how long is it going to take? Like, how much time do you need? Because then I'm like, maybe I could just commute back and forth. Nope. He was just like, you got to go. This process may take long. I don't want to give you a time frame. You got to go. So I had to go. Thankfully, while I was staying there, I had became familiar with the area, and they were also building apartments in that area. So it was another waiting game because the apartment was not completed at the time that I needed to leave this place and go to that place. So that was like that was like summer of 22 when that happened. Pause break. So that's just school stuff. Personal stuff. Before I started nursing school, my grandmother She got ill, but just before I started nursing school. So a lot of my first semester in nursing school, it consisted of a lot of traveling back and forth to be relief for my mom, as well as, yeah, my mom mainly, because it was a lot taking care of my grandma, and she was it caregiver burnout OD. So I was trying to navigate learning the nursing world, which I had, that's Chinese at this point, being a mom, being relief for my mom when I can, working 40 hours, and traveling back and forth from Orlando to Miami. And that was basically my first semester. Like, it was finish class, catch a flight, go back home, or finish class, study, catch a flight, go back home, finish class, go to work, finish work, catch a flight, go back home. Like, that was my entire first semester. And unfortunately for me, my grandma ended up passing February 22, which was completely devastating because that was my girl, that was my rock, that was my everything. Like, we were two peas in a pod, and my grandma was no longer here. And do you think nursing school stops for deaths? No, they do not. They just keep the ball rolling. So with all that was going on, I failed my first nursing class by half a point. And it just broke my heart that it wasn't that I was failing the exams that they were giving or whatever. I don't want to say skating, but I was passing enough. But it was the ATI exams that they do weighed in for your grades, that caused my grade to drop to that half a point. And I was just broken. Because not only did I have to retake this class, I had to, it was just like, I can't win. I had to retake the class, and I was dealing with a death, but then I couldn't even deal with the death that long, because once you fail a class, you have all this remediation work to do before they even put you in another class. And that didn't stop. Like, failing one class didn't stop. I still had other classes to take. So that happened, and now they were saying that we would have had waited 2 semesters for the next fundamental class. So that would send me back 2 years on my 1-year plan or whatever. So that ended up panning out the way it did, because apparently everybody kind of failed fundamentals, so they had to make a class for us in the summertime because all of us failed. Well, all of us from all of the different campuses failed, so they had to make a class for us to basically, I guess, keep us up or not have too many in the next cohort to come. So that worked out. Okay, so nursing school happened. We're in the summertime. Passed fundamentals with a B. And then this is now we're in Med-Surg 2 type stuff. That semester, I was getting in the swing of things. Things are managing. And then what was my next hiccup? My next hiccup was PEDS. PEDS. If PEDS is PEDS, another language, again, that you have to learn, or whatever the case may be. So, finished that semester, basically. And I think PEDS was another headache of mine. I had to retake PEDS too. But, gotta be in that. I don't know about the retakes and the B's, but it was happening for me. And now we're like, this is like 2023 at this point, and it's time to graduate. Yeah. It is time to graduate.